Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to the class. Am I audible to everyone? Can you all hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
audible.
Yeah.
All right. So before we begin, let me introduce myself. I'm Preeti here. I have almost 14 years of experience into IT. I have worked as a developer, build engineer, and a consultant and played various roles. Now I'm working as a DevOps lead. I have experience into DevOps from past 7 years. I have also online training and corporate experience on DevOps. I'm also certified Kubernetes and Terraform professional. That's a brief about myself. Before we proceed into the actual topic, I would like to give some more insights about the course so that you will have a better clarity on the goals and the agendas of the course, right? So yeah, let's begin. See, this course will be completely on learning the DevOps strategies, DevOps principles, DevOps methodology, the implementing CI/CD pipelines end to end, and you will learn completely the roles and responsibilities of a DevOps person. Right. So this course duration is almost for 2 months. Every day it will be 1.5 hour session. And like I said, this course is a job-oriented training. So you will have complete hands-on. So how do you do the lab or where do you do the lab, right? So how to do the hands-on, how do you get the scenarios and all. So here we will do everything on AWS platform, right? And also show you implementing DevOps on any platform. Means here the main agenda is learning DevOps so that you can implement it in on any platform. That's what the companies are looking for. They were not looking for people who know all the cloud, who know all the tools, because that's not possible. Like if you know one tool or one cloud, let's say for a particular category, they're expecting you to work on others. That's how it is. So the same agenda here, we'll be learning the tools which are having a good demand in the market, which are the market leaders in the category, so that you have more job opportunities. Right. Also, if you're working in, if you're already into DevOps, how to implement it effectively. Right. That's the main agenda. So complete hands-on will be there. Lab setup will be done on AWS, where you can do hands-on at your own pace, at your own comfort. Right. So how to do this lab setup, how to create an AWS, everything will be taught from the scratch. You might be already having an AWS account, but still, like I said, we will go from the scratch, from the beginning to the advanced concepts to the real concepts so that you can really implement them in your projects. You can crack the interviews, right? And this is also, this is helpful if you want to upskill yourself. Like you already know Git, you already know Jenkins to a little bit basics, you know. So how to improvise, how to learn it effectively, how to implement it. To that extent, we'll learn how to design this and implement in your project, right? So that's a main thing. Also, like, what if you have some doubt when you're doing when you're doing hands-on? Yes, you will have a doubt clarification, a support session on WhatsApp. Okay, WhatsApp group will be created today. Already registered participants, whoever are there, WhatsApp group is created. If you are not added, like if you are already registered and not added, yes, you will be added by EOD today. So you can put your queries there. It's like you will have a collaboration with your batchmates, so that any questions you can post there. I would respond to them as well as they can respond. So that's how we'll clarify all the doubts on spot. Like you have a question, you post it, right? So everyone will reply accordingly, and even myself will be showing you the solution to it. So that's how you can clarify your doubts without waiting for the next session and all. Okay. So that's about doubt clarification and resume preparation. Yes, if anyone is looking for resume preparation, like let's say you are into some other background, let's say you are into Linux, you are working as a Linux admin, you want to switch to DevOps, how to put your resume, how to build or explain your project with respect to DevOps, all of that will be handled. We have a separate team for it. They will help you. We are a team of people who are working professionals, so they can help you. Am I audible for everyone?
Yeah.
Yes, audible.
See, whoever like it's not audible, please check your mic, please check your headset and checking settings from your end. Right. So this is about resume preparation, doubt clarification, and yes. So okay, fine. We discuss like okay, we'll have a lab setup, but what are the scenarios, right? How do you do? How do you understand DevOps? Let's say you are a fresher, but or else let's say you are new to DevOps. Okay, you are already a working professional. You may be having some 15 years of experience. You want to switch to DevOps, right? So, okay, in your resume, you can explain your project with respect to DevOps, but how do you justify that, right? You have to explain the scenarios, you have to explain the challenges. So, in this course, we'll be executing those real scenarios on a couple of projects, right? We'll be doing it on a couple of projects. We'll also share you some projects where you can implement on your own. So, there you will be seeing challenges. All these challenges, interview questions will be discussed as a part of the course, like a real interview questions. So all of these discussions will help you to crack those interviews as well, like project explanation that will help you to explain your project. Here, see, we will be implementing CI/CD pipeline end to end from the scratch till it goes to production. Like the complete implementation will be there on multiple projects. So that when you also do hands-on on such things, you will also come across challenges so that you can explain them in your interview, right? So that's how project explanation can be done. Like I said, you'll have interview questions. All the interview questions are already in our website. Apart from that, additional interview questions we'll discuss in the class. Like whenever I'm explaining a scenario, I do explain you like how to explain that, what could be the possible interview questions from that particular topic. As I also sit in the interview panel, you get a real exposure how interviews could be on DevOps. I'm sorry, am I audible, everyone? I'm asking for confirmation again, as some of them were saying voice is breaking. Am I clear, or is there any breaking in the voice?
Was clear only.
Yeah,
Clear,
clear.
right?
There is no break.
Yeah, please, whoever having issue, please check from your end. Right. And okay, fine. We have got the project explanation. We'll explain the interview. So you will get the like how to revise the topic. See, you will get a recording session every day. Like after the class in couple of hours, like maybe in 1 hour, you'll get the recording so that you can watch the recording and do the hands-on, right? If you're completely new, do put more effort. See, we are expecting your effort and hard work here. That's all we are expecting from you. Leave everything to us, we'll take care of it, right? So that will help you till you are placed into a DevOps project, till you are till you switch your career to DevOps, right? Will help you to that extent, and but it depends on your hard work and your dedication, like how many hours you can put daily and all. It's not something which is impossible. Like I see so many questions regarding DevOps. Is DevOps so difficult? Is so many tools are there? Like how to learn? Is it possible? Definitely possible if you learn it in a structured way, in a proper way, right? You have to put your effort. No compromise on that. We need your effort, your dedication, hard work. Guidance you'll get from us, like how to prepare for it, how to learn so many tools. Is it possible to learn the tools? And there were so many questions around coding. Is coding required for DevOps? See, developers are still there, right? DevOps doesn't overrule developers. Developers are still there. Developers write the code, right? You don't need to write the code. Developers are writing the code. You have to write the code to configure your infrastructure. But we will show you how easy it is, how anyone can do it. It's not that, don't keep in your mind that I'm completely from non-coding background or non-technical background. Can I do this kind of coding? We don't write code as a developer does. Remember that first of all in your mind. Keep that in your mind. Also, we write certain code to configure it. There were templates available, and I will show you from my personal experience how easily you can do it. Okay, you don't need to learn coding or something else beforehand. So this is one more thing. You will get the recordings, you can go through them, do practice, listen them multiple times. Come to the next session if you have any questions, right? So that's how you have your practice. And yeah, this course will help anyone in IT. Like, let's say you are a developer. Let's say you don't want to switch to DevOps. You want to remain as a developer only. Or else, let's say you are a tester. You just want to remain tester only. You don't want to become a DevOps person. Let us suppose. But still, every developer, even you are a developer or a tester or ops person or else a DB person, everyone should learn DevOps because it's about the methodology. When complete methodology is changing, everyone will be involved in. So to what extent everyone should learn, you will get an idea on this class today. Today we'll get a complete overview and we'll erase this blurriness we have over the DevOps concepts. That's the essence of it. So everyone in IT nowadays should learn this DevOps methodology. Why and all we'll discuss. So let's suppose, okay, fine, you're a developer, you want to switch your career to DevOps. Yes, that is also possible, right? So how you can do that? How a developer can become a DevOps person, or else a developer who doesn't know DevOps also, I mean, who doesn't want to become a DevOps guy also, why they should learn this strategy. I'll explain all of this, but to what extent they should learn also we'll discuss here. So these are the few things I would like to mention here because there were a lot of questions around these topics. So I gave you just a quick overview of the things you will get from this course. Any more questions? Any questions here from anyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, can fresher learn DevOps directly?
Sorry?
Can fresher learn DevOps directly?
Yes. Tester, you mean? Yes, they can learn DevOps. Yeah.
Okay, fine, ma'am.
A tester, a developer, an ops person, a DBA, anyone can learn DevOps. Right? This course will help everyone, anyone who want to switch their career into DevOps.
Yeah, good morning. This is Shiva. Hello.
Yes. Hi, Shiva.
Yeah. Actually, I'm in a different mode. I will came from the electrical background. I have 7 years. I can be switched on to DevOps. It is easily.
Yes, sure. Like I said, it is not like you might be having a question like, will there be any development, like huge amount of code do we write and all? See, we write code to configure the infrastructure, which is different from how developers write the code. Okay, see, developers write the code to develop the application. They have to write the logic, new logic they have to think about. They have to write the logic and all. Here we write the code, you can say scripting to configure the infrastructure, to manage the infrastructure. So, but how to use that code? Already templates are there, you have to just modify them. So whether you are from electrical background or whether you are from mathematics or science background, it doesn't make any difference. Okay, you can erase that hesitation from your mind. Don't think that you don't know coding, you are completely from different background. You just start just like a new subject, like a science person, how he learns any subject, or if you are a non-technical person, how you take up any topic. So learn that way.
Yeah, okay, sure. Thank you.
Yeah, hi, hello.
Yeah, hello.
So
Yes.
basically, in this course, will we cover deployment as well, like on EC2 or Docker, Kubernetes?
Yes, definitely we will be covering the deployment strategies on EC2 instances, on Kubernetes cluster by containerizing with Docker. And also we will see how this deployment will be automated through Jenkins via CI/CD pipelines. Yes, all of them will be learned here through our applications, multiple applications that too.
And like many a times, like developers write test cases, okay.
Hmm.
What CI/CD pipeline comes into picture with basically automatically does execute those test cases. Will we cover those scenarios as well?
Yes, those scenarios also will be covered. Like say, test cases will be still written by testers only. Okay, DevOps person will not write test cases. Okay,
Yes.
test cases will be still written by testers. And we, as a DevOps person, you have to automate them, automate their execution. That's all. Okay, that also will be covered. Yes.
So we will have hands-on practical on these topics, right?
Yes, on every topic you will have hands-on. There is nothing just theory. Okay, theory will not help you. It's not some theoretical class. Today, first day may be theory because like this discussion and we'll discuss what is DevOps, who should learn and all. But from tomorrow onwards, it will be a practical session. There, it will not be a like only a hands-on. Sorry, only a theoretical part. It will be completely hands-on on every topic we discuss.
Okay. And like apart from class, how much time do we need to spend daily?
It depends on how much dedication or how much time you have, how much quickly you want to learn, right? It depends on individual to individual, their learning capabilities and all. Minimum, if you learn 2 hours, that will be fine. So that within 3 months, within 2 months of the course, like let's say 3 months, because you have to practice it even after the course. Within 3 months, you will get ready. But let's say you want to get ready within 2 months itself, or else you want to show more expertise in your interviews, right? Because on your expertise also, you will have the growth and the salaries, right? So it depends. Like I want to expertise much. You have to practice a lot, right? So to answer any minor question or else any a difficult question, if you want to answer, you have to put more effort.
Yes. The thing is that like actually I'm also working, so many times it becomes very late in office itself.
See, classes will be from Monday to Friday, right? So every day you spend 1 hour, watch the recording and do some hands-on, 1 to 1.5 hour every day. Saturday and Sunday, spend more hours for these 2 months. See, these 2 months, put dedicated effort on this course. Take it as a very serious, your career changer. Consider it like a career changer. Okay, spend your Saturdays and Sundays if you're working. If you really want to make a move, without effort, nothing will be possible. Am I correct? Without your
Yes.
effort, just listening the class will not help you. Particularly DevOps, hands-on is a must. You put your hands on, then question if you can't make a move.
Sure. And okay, so like if we have any doubt after 2 months as well, that even will that be resolved?
For real time, you'll have a support. Like if you have a question, you still have the WhatsApp group throughout. As long as WhatsApp is there, you'll have the WhatsApp group still remain. Right? You can post your queries. If you have something to discuss with me, you can call me by taking some time, like taking some appointment on when we can discuss. We can put some time and discuss.
Sure, thanks.
Preeti, this is Raghu. Actually, I am not aware of AWS. Is that AWS topics also will be covered in this?
AWS, DevOps, everything will be taught from the base. It's not expected or it's not prerequisite for the course. Meaning I will teach everything here. Okay, what is AWS, how to create a free account, like what is the difference between the actual real-time account and your free account, how it works, all of them I'll explain. Okay.
I mean, what is
Yes.
required for the real-time environment? You'll be covering those topics regarding the AWS, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Preeti,
See, you
good morning.
just come up with a clean mind, open mind that you can learn. That's all. Put your effort and hard work.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
hi.
Preeti, good morning. This is Santosh here.
Good morning, Santosh.
So if I understood you correctly, the course span is for the 2 months, right? And Saturday, Sunday will be 1.5 hours, right?
Saturday, Sunday will be off. Course will be from Monday to Friday, actually.
Oh, so Monday to Friday, not Saturday,
Yes.
Sundays.
No, today it was a first session, so we started on Sunday so that you people have some enough time to plan and join.
So
It will be
Saturday,
from,
Sunday will be off or something like that?
yes, it will be off. We'll have classes only from Monday to Friday.
Okay, so it's 1.5 hour daily, five for 5 days. So it's like I'm just trying to calculate hours for 2 months, and then I'm trying to allocate because so many tools are there in the DevOps, right? So I just want to know how much average hours we are getting for one tool.
See, for every tool, there is a plan for every tool. Okay, I have covered this course content or this curriculum for from couple of years, I can say. Of course, modifications, upgrades were done with the course content. When you learn it in a structured way, in a proper way, everything will be possible. Okay, there will not be any unnecessary discussions or lagging in the class. Okay, or else postponing in the class. So if you learn properly in a structured way, in the planning way, it is possible. How many for each tool and all we will discuss at the end of the class. Okay.
Not a problem. Why? Because you see, I do have 15 years of IT experience, and I'm trying to get into DevOps, particularly in India. I was abroad earlier.
Okay.
Now, what challenges I'm facing in the interviews are, most of the people, they want clouds. And I don't have any experience in cloud because I was working on the on-premises data centers. So those concept definitely I don't have. So I'm trying to get those things in my hand. But when interview comes, people want, let's say if someone is good in Linux, they will start deep diving into the Linux. More of the time of the interview, they will ask Linux commands and monitoring, security, network aspects, storage aspects, right? If someone is good in let's say CI/CD pipeline, they will ask that one. So I do understand like there is a horizontal scales or divisions where you can divide your tools, but at the same time there is a vertical up, how deep particular tool you want to know or you can get to know. So
See
based
here,
experience, they're asking, I mean, it becomes like a luck. If you are really good in some tools or technologies and interviewer is asking from that, then you'll be rocking. Otherwise, the other side, if you face the challenges, you are struggling. And from there, if you got, definitely it's going to be nightmare. So, I mean, I don't know how to tackle those and how this course will help you, because most of the tools I'm also certified. But the thing is, I don't know how to leverage all those tools in a really good manner so that I can rock most of the interviews.
see, firstly, like you said, you are working on on-prem, right? An on-prem person can easily learn cloud environments because it is almost same. But here we don't have any services for it. Let's say you want to do some network configurations, you do it manually, right? On the on-prem server, like a network a person will be there, a network admin will be there, network technicians, they will do it. Here on cloud, you'll have a service for everything. The service makes the things very simple. You don't need multiple people there. So learning that when you are when you are doing it on prem, you implement the same on cloud also, but through services. So learning cloud will not be a challenge for an experienced person like you. And coming to your question, like people ask so many things. See, nowadays it's like DevOps means they're expecting everything a DevOps person does, but it depends on the job description, right? So you have to choose the proper job description. Job description explains you everything, whether they were looking for Linux automation or whether they were looking for automation through CI/CD pipeline, or whether they were looking for an expertise on a Kubernetes. So the job description explains everything. It's not like it's a random question someone put when the job description is they were looking for Kubernetes expertise. It's not that they put questions on a Linux or they put questions on a, networking and all, right? So read the job description which suits you. Okay, DevOps person is not someone who is a network technician or a DBA or he is not a Linux admin. Okay, DevOps person need not be this. But someone, let's say you are saying now, okay, some DevOps interview, someone asks you so many Linux admin questions, which is not related. Yes, that's not related to you, but they were asking because that's their job description, that's their requirement. So before you attend any interview, read the job description, then attend it if that suits you. Because like I said, now DevOps person need not be a Linux admin. He need not be a network technician or a DBA person and all. Right. So that's how, or else still, okay, let's say job description says it's about Kubernetes, then or else let's say job description is about CI/CD pipelines, but he is putting Linux admin questions, then it's his fault. Maybe interview is not properly understanding the job requirement and he was posing the questions. For such interviews, there is nothing we can do from our end. So what we have to do from our end is learn DevOps strategies end to end, the implementation, the CI/CD pipelines and all, and then you choose some tool where you want to gain your expertise. Let's say you are more into deployments, you are into maintaining high availability of your applications and all, then choose Kubernetes. After learning all the tools, choose Kubernetes to expertise or to get certified on it. So you will be attending or you will be choosing those roles where you have more priority or importance for work or Kubernetes. So your interview will be targeted for the same, right? And we will discuss more on this in detail once we get into the course, into the class, right? Yeah, hope that helps you. And there were other questions like difference between AWS DevOps and Azure DevOps. See, DevOps, first of all, DevOps is a methodology. It's a process. Okay, you have to first learn it to either implement it on either implement it on AWS environment or Azure environment. First, you should know DevOps, right? This course will help you do that. Then coming to AWS and Azure, the concepts, the pipelines, the strategies will be same, but you'll have different services. And if you know the services in AWS, you'll have a similar services on Azure, on GCP, or any other cloud. So learn one cloud, learn DevOps on one cloud, master them. You will be able to work on any other cloud environment.
Yeah, this sounds cool, but you know, the unfortunate thing is, like, whenever the recruiters calls you and they ask you which DevOps do you know, and if I say I know Azure DevOps, they say, okay, the client requirement is
No, that was not the case. I do sit in the interview panels. Maybe some of them may be specific because they don't,
they are the
they
non-tech,
are not.
they are the non-tech people who initially engage with
For
you.
them, we have nothing to do, right? For non-technical people, no proper
Yeah,
job
I mean, that
descriptions.
is
We have
also,
nothing to do, not only for DevOps, for anything else,
yeah,
for any other
but
technologies.
they are the first first people who screen our resumes.
That's beyond our hands, right? For any technology
Yeah.
that happens.
Anyways, thank you so much.
You're welcome. How much extent DevOps person should learning testing scenario tools and so on? See, DevOps person is not a tester. DevOps person is not a developer. Okay, make this note. DevOps person is who will automate the deployments from the scratch. Okay, so I'll take the remaining questions after the session. There were so many other questions in the chat. I'll take those questions also after the session. Let's begin the session now, right? And I'll take all of the questions in some time. Okay, are you all seeing the screen?
Yes, yes.
So let's get started before we go through other topics. So today, like I said, we will be talking about the DevOps overview. Like what is DevOps, who should learn, who are eligible, what is it, like why this was coming like a boom now, why we should learn, who should learn. Let's have a discussion and let's try to erase the blurriness we have around this concept. Okay, so yeah. I'm sharing my screen. Hope you all can see the screen. So let's talk about what is DevOps. See, DevOps, we can say, like everyone can say, like it is a combination of two terms, dev and ops. If you are already an experienced person, we all know like who are developers, ops and all. Like I said, this course will also help everyone, even a beginner, even this will help the engineering students or whoever want to take an internship or who are already taking an internship in DevOps. This will help everyone. So with that in mind, I'm just going through from the basics, a quick overview, that's all, right? So that we can refresh our basics. So let's say there are two teams, right? Every one of us know there will be a development team, there will be an operations team in an IT company. So if you see that, like every one of us even know who are developers, right? The main task of developers are they were involved into writing the code, they were involved into designing the application, writing the code, right? Even there is like, let's talk about another important team we come across, QA testers. So developers write the code, they work for designing the application, they work for building the application. And once they write the code, testers will test the application. There were so many ways, manual testing, automation testing. In automation testing, testers do write some code, which will test the actual code of the application, right? So they do write some test cases, test plans, they write some test cases and all. And ops person, ops team, yeah, they will take care of the complete infrastructure. Like they will look after the servers, services on those servers, the logins, network access, all of that will be taken care by ops team. In simple, we can say all the infrastructure will be taken care by the operations team. This is in short, in simple, like there were multiple teams who work for an application. And if developers or testers have to do some changes in their code, or they have to write some test cases, or they have to run some test cases, they definitely need some servers, services and all, right? So whatever requirements they have, means let's say they need some new operating system, whatever they have, they will be requesting the ops teams, right? Ops teams should provide them with the required infrastructure. This is how it's happening till now in the traditional approach. I'm not talking about DevOps. I'm talking about the challenges and why DevOps came in. right? So this was before DevOps. So they will depend on ops team. Ops team will provide their or serve their requests. And during this process, whatever instructions development team, testers team provide to ops team, they might not be clear, right? Because they are people from different expertise, different technologies, their core skills were different. So whatever developers request that may not be clear to ops team, or else let's say, okay, the ops team understood. But to serve the request, operations team have to do lot of checks. Because let's say, okay, developers ask for some new operating system. They want to upgrade the operating system. So if they made this upgrade, what are the challenges they face? Will the environment be stable? What would be the downtime of the application? They have to check lot many things before they serve the request, which will definitely take some time. Meanwhile, developers will be waiting for the changes they need. So developers doesn't understand why ops team is taking so much time. Similarly, ops team doesn't understand why developers are requesting always these changes. Hence arises some gap between these teams, right? Let's say I'm including QA also under development. So there's a gap between these teams because they work in silos, means they work as a separate team. They don't know why developers need these changes. Operations team will be doing so many changes. They take some time. Developers or QA people doesn't understand why they were taking so much time. There is always some gap between the teams, no proper communication, right? No proper collaboration. So how can we overcome this gap? Right, if the gap is overcome, if the developers requirement is understood by ops teams, the requirements can be sufficed very quickly, faster, deployments can become faster, the work can become faster, but there is a gap between them. How to overcome this gap between the teams? Is there any way to overcome this gap between the teams? Yes.
Yeah,
Cloud.
Hello.
Come again, madam? What was your question?
I'm saying there is a gap between this development team and ops teams, right? There were no proper understanding, proper collaboration between them. Each team doesn't understand the requirements, challenges of others. So how to overcome this gap? How can this gap be eliminated between these teams?
So these two teams must come together and become one team, and that is what it's known as DevOps. Then what will happen is when developer or QA they work on some project, few people from the ops team also joins and see how they are doing, what they are doing, what could be their requirement, and so and all. So that in that way they can fill the gap.
So
And there is
yeah,
blame games like, I mean, if management asks development team why the that the downtime or why the application is crashing or not stable, they might point to ops team, ops points to dev team. So that will also get eliminated once they are come together and work as a single team.
correct. So there is some gap between the teams which should be eliminated, right? So the first challenge is to eliminate the gap. Right, so that's why DevOps came in to overcome this gap. But how and all we'll see. First, let's talk about the problems or challenges that led to DevOps. First, to overcome the gap between the teams. So let's talk about other reasons also. What is the other reasons why DevOps came in? So this is one challenge. Like there is a gap between them. There's no proper collaboration. There's always blame game and all. Then what else? What is the other challenge? The other thing is like developers, whenever they write the code, right, they complete their coding. Once their coding is done, testers will test the application. Like developers write the code, they'll pass on the code for testing, testers will test it. And once this testing, like they were testing it, they find some bugs, right? They will send the bugs to developers will again make some changes, fix the bug, send it to developer, send it to test. This process, this cycle keep on continuing till the application is bug free or defect free, right? There will be again different levels of testing, types of testing and all. I'm not going to explain those. That's not our point. So understand, yes, they write the code, testers test it. Once the application is defect free, bug free, yes, application is ready for deployment for end users, isn't it? That's called release. So application is ready for release. Release means it will be deployed and end users can access the features of the application. So what is happening in the traditional approach is, yes, developers write the code, testers will test it. Okay, and for this release, they will hand over this application to ops teams. See, I'll come to the questions in the chat window in some time, right? So please listen here, and I'll take up the questions in the chat window in some time. So developers write the code, QA people will test it, and once the application is ready for release, they will hand over it to ops teams. Ops teams have to deploy it, right, on multiple servers, depending on the end users, regions, the locations, because there might be end users across the globe. So they will have data centers across the globe or certain areas. All of this will be taken care by ops teams. Like they have to manage the servers. They have to see there will be no downtime to the application. They have to see there is nothing, nothing like some breakdowns in the application. They have to also handle the load, right? So they have to do some load testing, and they should see that the application will be running and resistant to all of these factors, right? So they'll take care of disaster recovery, high availability, everything. So when ops teams are handling this, definitely it's going to take some time. Of course, maybe months. Application is ready, but still it takes months to reach the end users because they have to handle all of these things manually. I'm talking about without DevOps. Right. Here the challenge is, yes, when ops teams are making the servers, the environments ready, they have to check the versions of the application, whether we're using the right versions of the application. Let's say the application is Java application, and whether they want to, let's say, run it on some Linux environment, whether the application is compatible with a particular Linux environment or any dependencies. Let's suppose, take a simple example, they want to put this Java on some application server like Tomcat, whether the versions were compatible. They have to check all of this. And yes, when developers and testers are handing over the application to ops teams, along with the application, they will also provide the instruction documents, like which versions of software should be there, which versions are required and compatible for their application and all. Ops teams will follow those instructions and do it, but still there will be some gap, because the instructions provided by development team may not be clearly understood by the ops teams, or else the instructions they provide may not be working practically, or else the instructions provided by developers may be for a different version, but here the environment they set up might be different. So there'll be a lot of challenges, and also this arises because these people like the developers, QA, ops team, they're all working for the same application. Let's take an example, a banking application. Okay, let's say some hdfcbank.com, or else any shopping application like Amazon. So they're all working for same application. There are different teams work for the application, but their areas of expertise are different. Their core skills are different. Like say developers are more into coding. They may be knowing some coding like programming languages, right? Let's say they might be into some build automation tools. They might be having knowledge about some testing tools as well, because even they do some unit testing, or else they may be having knowledge about database and so on. But if you take ops teams, they were more into deployments. They will be working on deployments. They'll be working on maintaining high availability of the servers. They'll be working on networking or not. So both of them work for their core skills were different. So there is again a gap. They may not understand what instructions developers have given. So this takes a lot of time for deployment. To overcome all these challenges and take the application to end users, it takes months. But have you ever noticed nowadays, if you see Amazon or Facebook or any banking application or any social networks, if you see the application gets updated in a day, right? Let's say a new feature may be coming up tomorrow. Today some a disaster happened. Tomorrow you get all the news or else all the options available. Have you ever wondered how quickly those options or those features are reaching the end users? That is all because again of DevOps. See, it is taking months for end users, but DevOps comes in again to eliminate the slow process of deployment, right? DevOps makes this process fast. It increases the velocity of the deployments. How can it eliminate? Because say DevOps implements automation. Also, there is a team called DevOps. In the DevOps approach, developers and QA people will hand over the application to DevOps team, not to operations team. Okay, we have a DevOps team developers will hand over the application to DevOps team, and DevOps team can deploy it in a few minutes as well. But how is this possible? Does it mean that DevOps is someone who also know coding, who also write the code, who also know test case writing and all? No. DevOps is a separate team who have the knowledge of the tools, which can make the automation, which can make the deployment automated as soon as possible. Means they will not work on the versions and all manually. Whether the application is compatible to this version and all, they will not check it manually. Rather, they use a technology called containerization so that they need not manually work on the compatibility of the versions with the environment and all. They will use Kubernetes to automate the deployments and provide high availability. They will use some load balancers, or they will use some build automation tools to make the deployments also, to make the build process also automated. So DevOps team is a separate team of people who know the technologies which can automate this deployment possible without depending on developers' instructions. Right? That's how. So what is the advantage? Their deployments became faster because DevOps knows all these advanced tools, right? They know the process. They can deploy the application. So DevOps also came in to eliminate or to reduce this slowness in the deployment, so that end users can see the features as soon as possible after development. Got it, everyone? And if you can take all the gigantic applications like Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, these are all implementing DevOps already. Clear, everyone? The second reason why DevOps came in: first reason to eliminate the gap, second reason to automate the deployments and make the process faster. Can I proceed? Any questions in this part from anyone?
Yes, I have got one question.
Yes.
The question is, let's say your infrastructure, right, is not supporting containerizations or Kubernetes. Still, the DevOps can be implemented?
DevOps can be implemented in the sense, see, you want to automate the deployment of your application. So containerization is one which help you with deployments faster. So the environments which doesn't support this, how can we implement DevOps there? Which environments are you talking about? This
No,
can
I'm
be,
saying,
because see, containerization can be implemented on-prem. Containerization can be implemented on AWS, Azure, on any environment.
no, I didn't package my artifacts as a container or images. I did just compile jar or war file. Now I need to deploy to my infrastructures. So
You
since
have
it is,
to deploy it on a virtual machines only. Then you cannot
yes, exactly.
implement DevOps there. Kubernetes you can't use if you are deploying directly var file, which is a very slow process.
So
See, if you want to implement DevOps, you have to containerize your application. That's a process.
but I have heard something different. It's
What
like
is it?
you can still implement DevOps in this this scenario, and we were implementing DevOps in that scenario and using, you know what, using your Terraform.
See,
So
using
Terraform,
Terraform, you can deploy it, but it's not that full automation. When you containerize the application, you deploy it as a container, which makes the deployments faster. You are using Terraform to create those EC instances manually. See,
so
there
what,
are multiple ways of implementing DevOps. I'm talking about how effectively you can do it. Var file deploying on an EC2 instance, you can use Terraform to spin up them, but that's not DevOps. That's not a complete DevOps. DevOps is only implemented to automate the infrastructure in that case. But DevOps is not implemented to containerize your application there.
no, why I'm saying is, like, I'm coming from the experience background, so I can highlight few things where they did implement and they were calling themselves
That's
as a
what I'm saying. DevOps is implemented in multiple ways in multiple companies. There were hundreds of companies implementing DevOps in different ways. I told you, you deploy var file directly on a server. You're automating the server with Terraform. That's all. They call it also DevOps, but it's not an effective way of DevOps. They can implement more on it. They can also contain the application and make it more effective. I'm not saying it's not DevOps, but it can be automated well. Yes, they still call the DevOps. They don't say Terraform is not a DevOps tool, right? So the Terraform is a DevOps tool. They call it as a DevOps implementation only, but they can make it better. So this is about the second challenge. The third challenge is like the challenges coming from the traditional approaches. Like you might be heard about the software development life cycle, right? Let me quickly walk you through the software development life cycle, SDLC. Like every one of you might be aware of it, but let me give a quick recap. The first phase of software development was requirement analysis, right? First requirement gathering, analysis, and then comes the design, testing, coding, and then testing and delivery and maintenance, right? These are the major phases of software development lifecycle. See here, the idea is not to teach you software development lifecycle. The idea is to just talk about the challenges it has got: requirement gathering, analysis, design, coding, testing, and delivery. And here in this traditional approach, these phases goes one after the other, right? What is meant by going one after the other? You have design started only after analysis. After coding, only testing begins. After testing, you have delivery and maintenance and so on. Means each phase begins one after the other. Yes, you might have understood by now. I'm talking about waterfall methodology, which served the industry for decades, right? But it has got many challenges. I believe you might be aware of the challenges, right, posed by this waterfall methodology. Both the development team and operations team faced challenges because of this waterfall methodology. What are the challenges? Anyone? Anyone who have idea about waterfall methodology? What are the challenges?
Yeah, the challenges is it takes long time to develop, because once you have the requirement analysis and you are in design phase, if the customer says no, I want to
So it was a
modify
very slow process. Yes, this is very slow process where developers, once they write the code, then testing begins, right? And developers will have to wait for the code to be tested. Meanwhile, let's say developers started some other new functionality. Then testers begin testing the old code. Developers will have a lot of pressure to work on the bugs in the old code as well as to fix the bugs in the new code. There will be a lot of pressure on them. Also, delayed testing may be very effective, means with respect to cost, it may cost more if the testing is delayed because bugs will be identified after later time, which takes a lot of time to fix it. What is the second challenge? Anyone else? Let's give the chance to others. Anyone else can speak about the second challenge of
There is no
faced by.
continuous testing and continuous integration.
Sorry, continuous testing.
There is no continuous development, continuous
Correct.
testing, continuous
There
integration.
is no continuous testing and continuous development, like because like everything is happening one after the other, right? Also, it's not flexible enough, isn't it? Means like, let's say they were in coding, let's say they came up with new requirements. It cannot accommodate, means there is no going back in waterfall methodology. That's why it's called waterfall. They'll not go back to the previous stage. If the client is modifying the requirements, it will not accept, but it doesn't work nowadays, right? Nowadays, everyone will come up with new requirements, every client. It's a customer facing world. It just cannot be handled this way, right? Also, complete software will be delivered all at once. Like, let's say they have got the requirements in 2023. Complete project will be delivered only on 2025, right? Which is not again correct, because see, in between, in these 2 years, they were not accepting any new changes. They were not accepting any modifications, and they deliver the product with the requirements freezed on 2023. During these 2 years, business might have changed completely. So client will never accept this product. So yeah, complete software will be delivered at once. So there were so many challenges development team faced because of this waterfall methodology. Also, ops team has got the challenges, like they have to maintain the servers uptime for longer duration, because the slow process, they have to maintain the servers for longer duration. Everything is manual. I'm talking about manual approach, which is not possible, right? And also maintaining the servers, then monitoring this huge infrastructure manually will be another challenge. They might be having huge infrastructure, right? Like, let's say thousands of servers. If there are 1 or 2 servers, you may monitor them manually, like health of the server, the disk space, the memory, CPU usage and all. But if huge servers are there, you need a monitoring tool, which will be again a challenge, right? There is no proper configuration management. See, what is configuration management? What is infrastructure as a code? All of this will be explained in detail, right? Just understand managing the infrastructure. Like, let's say out of 1,000 servers, 10th server needs some configuration. Manually doing it will be a challenge, right? So these are all the challenges posed by waterfall methodology for both development team and ops team. So we need a methodology, right? There came agile methodology into picture. Like I said, the intention is not to teach you the methodologies, just to understand the importance of DevOps, or like the challenges we face with traditional approaches. See, agile came in and agile could overcome the challenges of developers. These challenges were overcome with agile methodology. It was good to this extent, but it could not overcome these challenges. Challenges of ops team was still there with agile methodology, right? So anyway, we came to agile methodology. Let me give you some more understanding of this agile methodology. So agile methodology came in where you have both the development team, challenges of developers and ops. So the challenges of developers, like these were all overcome by agile, but challenges of ops team were still there. How to overcome them? That's where DevOps came in. But before that, let's talk about how agile can overcome challenges of development, because agile implements the concept of continuous integration. So continuous development, continuous integration, and continuous testing. This is possible with agile, right? What is meant by this continuous development, continuous integration, continuous testing? What is meant by that? Let me explain you this in simple words. In agile, code will be developed in bits and parts, like let's say in chunks. Let's say a chunk of code A was developed in week 1. Okay. On week 2, immediately this chunk of code will be tested. On week 3, again, like this A code, chunk of code A will be merged with another chunk of code B and it will be tested again. Let's suppose on week 2, testers are testing this. Okay, it's going for testing. Developers are not sitting idle on week 2. They will develop another chunk of code B. Again on week 3, this will go for testing, right? Let's say on week 4, both of them will be combined and tested. Means code will be developed in bits and parts. Whenever a chunk of code is developed, testers will test it. Again, they will merge it into the system. Means any new code is developed, that will be merged into the system and tested, which is called continuous integration. Continuous development, continuous testing, and continuous integration. What is the advantage of this? Development is faster. Like whenever developers are writing testing, they were testing immediately. So testing also became faster. Bug fixing can be done quickly. And every week or every alternative week, there can be a release. Means deployments will become faster. Like deployments in the sense of not reaching the end user, the release was faster, right? So continuous development, continuous testing, and continuous integration. Because of this approach, it can overcome the challenge of developers. Also, with this approach, developers and QA people, like they were under the same umbrella, or they were working with a proper collaboration. But ops team was still left in isolation, because after continuous integration, deployment was manual, and again monitoring was manual, right? Which doesn't suffice the entire challenges, right? So there were drawbacks with this traditional approaches. So why DevOps came in? To overcome the gap between the teams, to eliminate the slowness in deployments, to overcome the drawbacks or challenges posed by the traditional methodologies. So to overcome all these challenges, that's where DevOps came in. So what is DevOps? DevOps is basically a methodology. Okay, it's a process, we can say. It's not a tool. DevOps is not a tool. People will be under impression if they use some tools, it's a DevOps, right? If they use some tool like Jenkins, it's a DevOps. No, if they use some Terraform, it's a DevOps. They call it is DevOps, but it's not effective DevOps implementation. They have to improvise it. It's a process. And also, remember, DevOps is not something you achieve in a single day. You implement Terraform means you can't call it as a DevOps, right? It's a continuous process. After implementing, using DevOps, you can also containerize your application. You can use Kubernetes to provide high availability. Even this Kubernetes cluster can be automated with Terraform. All of that we will be learning in this course. It's not something, let's say I want to implement DevOps, okay, go tomorrow to the office and implement it tomorrow, done. No, it's a continuous process, unending process. Still you may use all the tools, but still the implementation can be improvised. It's a continuous process of improvement, of implementation, right? That's why it's called a process, a methodology, where you slowly improvise your implementation. Day by day, you can make enhancements. That's why it's a never-ending process. Okay, you may be using all the tools in your pipeline, still there will be chances to improvise it, right? So what is DevOps? It's a process of continuous development, continuous testing, continuous integration, along with a continuous deployment, right? A new feature is developed today by developers. Tonight we can deliver it, tomorrow, tonight end users can see it, right? That's how you can automate the deployments. Continuous monitoring. You have a plethora of monitoring tools which you can use to monitor your infrastructure depending on the requirement, right? This is what is DevOps. Okay, let me compare it with the traditional approaches so that you get a better clarity. See, if you talk about software development lifecycle, yeah, you have development process, then you have testing, then you deploy it. After testing, then you monitor. Let's say, okay, I'm writing on brief the couple of phases. In Agile, it was improved to certain extent. Continuous development, the word continuous is important because every week developers are writing the code. Testers are testing it continuously. It's integrated, but deployment was slow. It was manual, then monitor. Then came DevOps, right, which took some principles from Agile, which has continuous development. Developers keep on writing the code, testers test it, integrated, also automate the deployment process, also monitor it. This is what is DevOps and the difference between the tools. And here in SDLC, development team, QA team, ops team, 3 teams were working in isolation, in separation. They don't have proper understanding. They don't know the process. But in Agile, development team, QA team were brought together to certain extent because you remember, right? They were writing the code immediately next week. Testers were testing it. They were brought together, but ops team was still left in isolation. In DevOps, all these 3 teams come together. What is meant by that? See, developer is writing the code, right? Immediately, testers have to test it by deploying it onto test environments, right? Here, developers can implement the practice of containing the application. Developers can learn the process of containerization and they share the container. Means, see, this is very like in detail subject, which I cannot explain here, but I'm just trying to give you an overview. Even though developer write the code, he should know some understanding of containerizing. He should know like what Kubernetes does, some understand, because it was all the pipeline. This is called the CI/CD pipeline from the scratch. Once developer is ready with the code and tester is ready with the test cases, a DevOps person should take it from the scratch, from the desk of a developer till it reaches the production table. The whole process can be automated, which is called DevOps. Okay, this is where a developer is writing code. He will provide you the code. Testers will provide you the test cases. You should be working in the process till it reaches the production. This whole process of automation is called CI/CD pipeline. Whoever knows the knowledge, whoever have the knowledge of these DevOps tools can be working on this process of implementation. This is what is DevOps. Right, in this CI/CD pipeline, so many tools were in use. DevOps means not just using the tools. You should know, you should have an understanding of where to use the right tool at the right time. Sometimes without using a tool, a script can help you. So it all depends. You should be wise enough to choose those tools. You will get that through practice, through hands-on. That's how you gain the expertise on those areas. Right. So now let me answer a few questions here. Let's say there is a developer. He will be still working as a developer. He writes the code and he will provide the code to DevOps team. DevOps team will take it to production and automating the CI/CD pipeline. Now, let's say you were a developer for 13 years. Now, let's say you want to switch to DevOps. So you learn these tools of automation and yes, you can switch your career to DevOps. From when you move to DevOps, you will not be working in the developer team. You will be working in a DevOps team. Same is the case with the testers or DBA and so on. So now I think this should clear your question. Some of you are asking DevOps person should also write the code. No, because there is separate development team is there. Then why you will be writing the code? You will be writing the code maybe to automate your infrastructure and all. For that you have templates, and for that I am here to guide you how easily you can do that. Hope that gives you clarity. Any questions from anyone here? Am I clear with this, or should I repeat any part?
It's clear, Preeti.
Clear.
So this is what is DevOps. So anyone, a fresher, engineering student, or else a person who was doing some internship, anyone who masters these pipeline, who masters this automation strategies can survive in DevOps. See, initially to build, to design this, let's say project is not implementing in DevOps. Now you want to implement it. Let's say a new project, you want to design it from the scratch. Right. So initially, more number of DevOps person may be required for initial design of this pipeline. Let's say 6 people, 7 people. But once the design is streamlined, once it is done, you just need 1 or 2 DevOps people to automate it. Means the point to note here is who have the strongest DevOps skills will survive in the market in the long run. Right. So this is the right time to put your effort, to invest your time, to invest your effort and learn the tools. Right. Almost all the companies are implementing it. Why do they need it? Because say deployments were faster. That's what they need, right? They can deploy the applications faster to the client. Everything is automated. Manpower will be reduced. Like I said, whoever having strongest DevOps skills will survive in the market in the coming future. So yeah, automation reduces the manpower, right? Also, because it is all automated, quality is improved. No human errors, no manual errors. That's what companies need. That's why every company is stepping into it. Either small companies, startups, or huge gigantic companies, everyone is stepping into it. Almost everyone will implement it in couple of years. So there is a huge demand for DevOps person right now in the market, in India, in abroad as well. So this is the right time to invest your time here. Everyone, let's say, like I told you in the beginning, you are a developer, you don't want to become a DevOps person, but still, because you have to contain the application, because the way application is handed over to ops teams, DevOps teams was changed. Earlier, you might have given just the application files, but now you have to containerize and give them. Of course, if it is a small company, everything is done by developer team itself. Means I'm talking about a smaller companies. So you have to learn everything there. Like developer have to learn this, but DevOps person will not write the code. Okay, there will be separate DevOps team. So you should know how to containerize it. Testers should know, yes, how to containerize the test cases, how the test cases can deployed on any environment. So that's how everyone should know the strategy. Because say the whole process is changed. There is a need that everyone have to understand this. So this is about DevOps, why DevOps came in, what is DevOps. But like, okay, fine, we understood. Then how to do this? That's what we'll be learning from tomorrow with hands-on. Okay, we'll be taking up each tool one after the other. Only once you master one tool, we master one tool from basics till you expert is still you can implement in the project. We will learn to that extent, then take up the next tool. We'll go to each tool one after that. Any questions you can let me know, and whatever we have discussed till now, that's the documentation, that's this presentation for all. You will get these presentations as well. We were talking about the big picture of DevOps roles and responsibilities, CI/CD pipeline tools and skills today. Yeah, DevOps is a combination of these we were talking about. Waterfall model we have discussed, the drawbacks, challenges, Agile methodology we were talking about, why DevOps came in. All these we have discussed, a document which you can go through after the session, the differences between waterfall, Agile, and everything, right? So roles and responsibilities of DevOps person are to automate the whole process, to work on the CI/CD pipelines, to debug any issues coming within Kubernetes or Terraform. All of this you should be working on. Mostly, yes, CI/CD pipeline will be there, like the pipelines will be there. If you are working on multiple projects, yes, there'll be huge number of pipelines which you need to take care of. Daily, you have to work on it, right? There might be some issues coming up. Pipelines may fail, pipelines may be broken. You have to fix the pipelines. You have to see the deployments were in place. There were no hiccups in the deployments on Kubernetes. You have to check the Terraform code is managed properly. All of these are the roles and responsibilities of a DevOps person. Like I told, it's so huge. We will discuss it throughout the course, right? We will implement this CI/CD pipeline from the scratch in our code. So it will take some couple of months to build up this pipeline. And then coming to the skills or tools we were learning here. Yeah, let me walk you through this tools. See, we were version control tools. What is a version control tool and all we will discuss. I'm just giving you the list of the tools we are going to learn here. So it is a version control system like a Git. Yeah. Build automation tools like a Maven. Continuous integration tool Jenkins will be covered. Containerization tools Docker. Infrastructure as a tool Ansible and Terraform will be covered. Container orchestrator tool Kubernetes. Continuous monitoring tool, sorry, I have to update this. Continuous monitoring tool as Prometheus and Grafana will be covered. Nagios is a bit older now. Prometheus and Grafana is widely used. And cloud computing courses like AWS. Like I said, if you know DevOps implementation on AWS, you can do it on any cloud platform, be it Azure or be it a GCP or whatever it is. See, under every version, every category, see, you might be having a question. There were so many version control systems like Git, TFS, SVN, Perforce, and so on. Here I am covering the market leader, means which is having a great market, which is having more job opportunities. So if you learn Git, you'll have more job opportunities. Also, if you master Git, you can work on any other version control system, right? They were all similar. The concepts would be similar. So you don't need to learn Git, TFS, everything. You master one tool in the category and it will help you.
Preeti, sorry to interrupt you. Currently, we are using the ELK stack in our environment. Can I have insights regarding ELK?
I can explain you the differences when I show you Prometheus and Grafana, right? ELK, if you already know ELK, then better you learn some other tool, right? And also Prometheus and Grafana, basically, Grafana has got lot of customized dashboards possibility. That's where Grafana is gaining importance these days. And Prometheus is for container-centric environments, right? Basically containers, Kubernetes clusters, monitoring Prometheus, you are having so many job opportunities there as well. So I'm covering those, but yeah, I can give you some differences comparatively with the ELK there.
Preeti,
AWS services, are you covering AWS code pipeline, AWS code commit, AWS code deploy, all these services?
Yes, code commit, code deploy, code build, code pipeline, all of this will be covered, right? I'll also walk you through the course content in a while, okay? So any questions on this page? The blue ones will be covered. Of course, Nagios, here is a correction, will be covering Prometheus and Grafana.
Yes, Manita, sorry for interrupting you. Coming to the infrastructure as a code, but we are not aware, I'm not aware of that coding department like Ansible and Terraform. Will it be helpful for me with which I am having a 0% of knowledge on coding?
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. You don't worry about coding. Here, we don't write a code like developers do. We write the code for where we have templates and all. You have to just modify it. But I will tell you how easily you can do it in the class. Forget about coding. If coding is only your hesitation, just ignore it completely. Okay?
Okay.
I'll help you how coding you can do in DevOps. It's not like developers first thing. Keep it in mind. You are not going to write developer. Like I told you, now developer team is still there. What do they do if you write the code? We write code to configure, to automate. How to do that easily, I will teach you.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
And the DevOps delivery pipeline. Here, this is the pipeline we were going to build in the course. Okay, this will take some months. Like in our course, we'll be building parallelly 2 pipelines on 2 applications, right? So that you get a better clarity and understand. Here, I will just give you an overview. That's all. See, I'll give you an overview of this pipeline. Then I'll pose you are going to have a quiz. Okay, so stay back. I'm going to give you a small quiz. Okay, so that to check like how well you understood the things. Okay, we'll have a quiz. And then we will take up all other questions you have. Okay, so stay back for a couple of minutes. This is the CI/CD pipeline I'm talking about. If you see here, this is a developer team. Okay, developers will write the code and push the code into version control system. Git is a version control system. See, if you, let's say you are someone who doesn't use version control system till now, don't worry, you will master it by the end of the course. Okay, so just understand developer put the code there. Then as a DevOps person, you will create this pipeline which will pull the code, build it. What is meant by builds, what is Maven, everything I'll explain. This is just a high level or a big picture. Okay, so Maven will pull it, build it. Then test cases can be executed in the pipeline. They can be Selenium test cases, UFT, JMeter, JUN, whatever be the test cases are written in. Test cases may use any test automation tool. They will be executed here. And then the code will be pulled and deployed by containerizing it on Kubernetes. And the underlying infrastructure can be automated with Terraform and Ansible. Like someone is talking about some time back, like some questions from the participant, they were using only Terraform, they call it DevOps. Yes, they call it DevOps, but still there is a lot of scope for improvement. This is what I am talking about. They can still containerize it. Okay, they can still put it on Kubernetes. They can also use Ansible to deploy them. Lot of scope for automation. Just using one tool, let's say someone using a Selenium, Jenkins, they can't say it's a DevOps. Of course, they were implementing it. It can be improvised. It can be made better, right? And then monitoring with Prometheus and Grafana. Sorry, I'm using the old slide. Okay, so monitoring with Prometheus and Grafana and pass the alerts to the respective teams after monitoring. This is the complete CI/CD pipeline. You can implement this CI/CD pipeline on-prem as well, or else on any cloud like AWS. Right? It can be AWS or GCP or Azure or Linode or Oracle Cloud, whatever it is. There were hundreds of clouds available now.
So, Preeti, as part of this course, are you going to teach on the AWS or on premises? It is.
I'm going to teach on AWS. Right, like I told you, I'm going to teach you on AWS, but you can implement the same on-prem or Azure or any cloud.
Okay.
So this is just a big picture. As we go by, we will zoom into every part. Like, see, first tomorrow I'll be starting with Git. Why you should learn Git, right? Why a DevOps person should learn Git, to what extent we'll talk. We'll zoom into this one. From basics till advanced part, we will learn it thoroughly. Then we will learn Maven, Jenkins, and so on, and then integrate them in the pipeline. Okay, so slowly we will build this pipeline bit by bit. First, we'll create a pipeline till this much. Then we'll add next stage with Docker, then next stage with Ansible, then with Terraform, then with Kubernetes. That's how we build up this pipeline step by step by zooming into each tool or each section.
So are you going to cover SonarQube as well?
SonarQube is just like an add-on. Okay, you have a build automation tool Maven covered here. In this Maven, you can implement any plugin. It could be SonarQube, it can be PMD plugin, it can be Kobatstra plugin for code review, for static analysis. Those plugins can be integrated in the Maven to perform the respective task. Okay, that also we will discuss here. Not particularly learning SonarQube, how to integrate any plugin. Maybe it is SonarQube today, tomorrow it might be Kobatstra, whatever it is. How to implement the usage of the plugins through build automation tool, that clarity will get. Particularly remember, build automation tool is also a developer tool. To what extent a DevOps person should know, that we will be learning here. Any questions over this pipeline from anyone?
So, like, what is the use of this Terraform?
Terraform, yeah. See, like I told you, I did not explain the tools today. Okay, I just have given you a very big level or high level picture. Okay, coming to Terraform, Terraform is an infrastructure as code tool. Means still now you might have created your infrastructure manually. See, if you know AWS or Azure or any cloud, you go to the console, create the instances manual. But here Terraform will create them. Terraform is an infrastructure as a code tool, right?
Okay.
You will automate creating the infrastructure with Terraform. In detail, we will learn everything. Don't worry that you did not understand Docker. I did not explain them yet. Okay, just giving you the big picture of how we will use these tools.
Got it. Thanks.
So this is just an overview of the DevOps concepts. There is a lot to learn. It's a big ocean. We will do a rigorous learning from tomorrow. We will do the end-to-end pipeline, real scenarios with practical implementation so that you can handle your interviews and challenges in your project confidently. You can be a valuable resource in your project after this course. That we can give you the assurance, provided you put your effort. Okay, every day you will get a recordings, you will get a support through WhatsApp and videos as well from this course. This is about the course, like what you will get and all, resume preparation and all. You can connect with Ras for resume preparation or anything else. Okay, but before that, I would also like to take you through some quiz. Can I post the quiz? Okay, I will post the quiz and later we'll take up all the questions from your chat. And this quiz is just again an overview, and also it will have the questions which I did not cover. Like I did not cover what is IAC, what is configuration management and all. But there will be few questions on that also, just to check whether you have some idea on it or you are completely new, just to check your idea. Okay. So I'm starting up this quiz. Meanwhile, you can post your questions or unmute and speak up from your end if you have any questions. Let me start it. Hope you all got it. Can you confirm?
Yeah.
Can you all see the questions? Okay.
Option A.
It was very simple, basic questions. Go through it, please. Meanwhile, I'm taking up the questions in the chat window. Does this course help in technical project management? Technical project management. Technical project management in the sense you want to manage the project, DevOps project from technical perspective, right, Anand? Yes, this course will help you. It depends on how much expertise you gain. Like I told you, for project management, you should have a good understanding on the complete tools, the overview, the idea of it, right? So yeah, if you practice to that extent, I'm here to help you. If you practice everything, whatever I teach to that extent, yes, it's possible.
Preeti, I selected two options and the question vanished. Will you?
You have to choose only one option, please. One option, please.
No, I answered two questions and then it went off my screen.
I think you might have clicked on submit button.
No, I didn't.
Can you try again? Can you try again?
I can't see questions on my screen.
Okay, let me check. How much extent DevOps person should learn in testing scenarios? DevOps person need not learn testing. I think I answered this, Murthy. Okay, you have to just learn automating the test case execution. What type of monitoring tools are you teaching? I'm teaching Prometheus and Grafana. There is another question. What is the connection between Cisco, DevNet and DevOps? See, DevOps is the process. Okay, Cisco, DevNet, it might be related to some particular networking environment. There is a question, the gap between developer and operator can be eliminated through DevOps, which is an operational philosophy that helps bridge the process. DevOps brings together the skills, process, tools from both. Correct. Can it will 5 days a week? Yes, Siddhartha, it will be 5 days a week from Monday to Friday. Course will be from Monday to Friday. Saturday, Sunday will be off. Everyone completed the quiz? Timings morning 7:30 to 9 a.m. From
Preeti,
tomorrow, you will have the class 7:30 to 9 a.m. Indian time. Yep.
Preeti, I'm still waiting for the quiz.
I could see that it was submitted for everyone. Can you just refresh and check? Because I'm seeing it was submitted for everyone from my end.
Yeah, I couldn't answer all. I just got the first screen and then I hit something.
How about others? Others, can you see all the questions and able to answer them?
No. No, Preeti.
Preeti, basically what
Yes.
happened, so in the screen there is a showing a two questions.
After
Hmm.
selecting, we need to scroll down, but by mistakenly users are get submitted it with answer to questions.
Okay. Like they have to scroll through. You have to
Yeah.
scroll through the questions.
Yeah.
So any chance is it going to come again or it's done?
Let me check. Okay. After ending it, I'll relaunch it. Okay. Once the users finished, I'll relaunch it. So whoever have not answered, you can answer again. Done with everyone? Can I close it?
Yeah.
Yeah, done.
Okay, I'll wait for 30 more seconds and we'll close it. Meanwhile, whoever having all the questions, please submit them. So every day you'll have a quiz almost every day after the hands-on, particularly when we get into the technical topics, you'll get an opportunity to revise your learning at the moment, right? A small quiz so that you can memorize the learnings, like a kind of, instead of a recap of, you'll have a recap through the quiz. Then we'll discuss those questions. Let's say we discussed a topic for 30 minutes on Git. Let's say we learn 10 commands or else 5 commands on that day. Okay, we'll have a quiz on those 5 commands so that you'll get a kind of recap. Today they were all basic and overview. From tomorrow, like once we get the topic started, we'll get into the real questions. Which external certifications can be taken post completion of this course? Sumant, always certifications will have a separate course content, but this course will definitely help you to pick up, to get started with those certifications, right? To do the certifications, definitely they'll expect experience in the particular area. Okay, to gain that experience, do a lot of hands-on. Once you feel like, yes, you have mastered whatever we have discussed here, you can start preparing for your certifications. Yes, this course will help you to get started to take up those certifications.
So, Preeti, what is the minimum experience which developers can avail? Like, I don't have experience on DevOps.
So you are working as a developer?
Yeah, yes, Preeti.
Okay, so you're working as a developer, so you can showcase your experience of development as a DevOps, right? Let's say you are working as a developer for 3 years. Those 3 years you can put like you are working as you have worked as a DevOps person on that particular project. Okay, that resume help or that project explanation you will get in this course. I'm ending the poll.
Will
Yes.
3 years experience with this course, can I crack the interview?
You can, yes, you can put up to 6 years experience as well. It all depends on your expertise, because see, I'm covering whatever is required for an experienced DevOps person, like 6 to 7 years as well. So it depends on how much expertise you gain by practice, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, hi.
Right, these are the results. I'm also sharing the results with you. I'm also sorry, I should relaunch. I'm also relaunching for people whoever have not taken the quiz. You can take now. You can retake now. Got the quiz now for everyone?
Yeah, I got it.
Any questions from anyone else? Any questions about the course, about the curriculum, or anything else?
Yeah, hi, Preeti.
Yeah,
Manjeet
Preeti.
this side.
Hmm. Yeah.
Actually, I want to know that how it is useful for the data network engineers. I mean, I'm a data network engineer and having experience more than 10 years. So would it be useful for us? Like,
Yes, you are working on the networking. You have networking background, right? You can
yes.
work on these deployments, right? You can work on AWS, automating the network. I mean, you can learn the networking service of AWS, automating those and all. You can showcase the same in your project. You can say that you have worked on the
Actually,
deployment
I
of the
don't have
pipeline.
any experience, any development experience, and don't have any language experience like
You
different language.
don't need any development or any programming language. That's what I'm saying from the beginning, right? You don't need any programming language because developers are there. Separate development team will be there. DevOps person will not do development. Okay. So coming to the automation like Terraform code and all, I will show you how to do it easily. You don't worry about it. You don't need any background for it.
Okay.
How do
So
we practice? Tell me.
yeah, would it be like a kind of career switch for the network engineer? I mean, or it is like we can work collaboratively with like as a DevOps engineer and as a network engineer.
You can, if you are looking for a collaboration, if your intention is to collaborate with the DevOps team, this will help you. Also, not only just collaboration, you can also make your career move into DevOps. See, like I told you, anyone who know this automation process, how to take your code, developer will give you the code. How you take it to production through automation by use of all the tools, by use of all the AWS services, can be a DevOps person. Right? For this, there is no prerequisite like you should know coding, you should know networking. No, I will teach here everything from the basics. There is no prerequisite for it. You should know the process. That process we will teach here. Also, you are in IT, you can definitely put your experience as a DevOps person for a couple of years where you have worked some networking and all, where you have done some networking and all.
Okay.
There is a question from 1 second. Let me read out the question. I think it got vanished. Okay. How do we practice? Will we get any environment capstone kind of projects? Sumant, yes, you will be doing hands-on on AWS platform, how to set up your platform for hands-on and all. I'll explain you. And also, yes, we will implement this CI/CD pipeline on a couple of applications. You'll get a project completely. Yes, someone is asking. You can go ahead.
Preeti, this is Shiva. Actually, I'm a non-IT guy. I purely an electrical background. I have a gap of 9 years from my completion of BTech. I have an experience in 7 years in electrical background. How can I to put my experience in DevOps for switching
For
to the
experience related questions, okay, for like you have a gap to handle this experience, you can talk to Raj in our team. Okay, he can help you how to explain your resume with experience and all. Right?
Is it possible to switch
Yes,
to
it is
DevOps?
possible.
Not a problem.
You connect with
Yeah.
Raj. Yes, it is possible. You can
Yeah, I
connect
don't
off
have
the
any
meeting.
programming language and also anything development.
Programming language is not at all required. I have explained this thoroughly in the class, and also still there were so many questions. I'm still answering. There is no problem. You can ask me. I'm still saying programming language is not required. How is DevOps market now? Now at this moment, Naveen, market of IT market is not that great right now. But yes, still people are getting calls for DevOps when compared with other technologies. Right, people are still getting calls for DevOps rather when compared with other technologies. And in couple of months, definitely it will pick up. You will get again sure rise in the DevOps market. You will see again a huge rise.
Will you please give a little bit idea like what kind of projects that we will get to handle on this course? Like it's a Java based applications and it should be of 3-tier or it's how it is? I mean, can you give some?
Yeah. We will do the projects. One will be a simple monolithic Java application because you get started with it. Then we will also switch to microservice applications. Like you'll have a multiple application, I mean, front end, back end database and all. Those applications also will work. Like I said, we will be working on multiple projects. Okay, one will be a simple application. The other one will be a microservice application. I'll also provide you a third application for you to do the hands-on and submit.
And that application probably we can have access to so that we can do multiple times practice on those.
Exactly. That's how you do the hands-on, right? I'll provide you the application access. You can contact, okay, some of you are having questions regarding the contact number and all. Let me walk you through this. See, this is my website. You might have gone through it. Here is the contact number. You can contact on this number. Okay, you can connect with Raj. And once you log in, once you register, like once you make the fee payment and register, you will get access to the student login. This is the LMS, okay, learning management system for our students. And here are the live classes and video classes, everyday class recordings. Like if you go to the live, join the class will be enabled for registered students. Okay, and live class recordings, everyday class recordings will be available here. Lab material, interview questions, some interview videos, like audio interview videos will also be provided, like audio tutorials, you can say. And the pre-recorded sessions will also be available for students who go for video tutorial. So you have the LMS here available. And yeah, we were like, if you have noticed, here we have all the interview questions. Course content is available here. DevOps syllabus, if you just go to the content, here are the interview questions available. This will be keep on updating. So everyone, you can like add it, bookmark this page. You'll have all the interview questions added here. It's keep on updating. We were updating, team is working on updating them. Apart from these interview questions, you will also have the other interview questions and discussions in the class, right? So, yeah.
Preeti, can I expect one or two pre-recorded videos from old sessions on any tool that you feel comfortable with?
You have everything on YouTube. I feel
Oh.
comfortable with all my tools. You can just go here. Okay, YouTube channel, you can subscribe there. You'll be getting all the interview questions as a video format also here. Slowly we were updating it. You can subscribe to my channel.
No, I was just expecting, like, let's say, for example, Git or any one tool that you are teaching, that particular video, just to have a
Those
reference.
were available there. Okay, those were available also. In the demo videos, you have videos on particular tools also. Okay, you check out this. You have everything here. All the material you have here.
Regarding the fee payment, we need to consult Mr. Raj, right?
Yes, you can connect with Raj for fee payment for everything. See, you have a few videos posted here, like a CI/CD pipeline overview, version control systems, containerization with Docker you have here. Okay, you can subscribe to my channel. Right, you have also interview questions being posted here. This will be also updated regularly. Okay. Okay, we have also categorized. We were updating it. So just stay connected. You'll get all the updates. Yeah, here are the version control system videos. Can you see that?
Yeah.
In the playlist, you have Git version control system, some 4 videos, I think. Here are some 5 videos of some other batch. You can go through it.
Sure.
So for
Anything
tomorrow
else
class, the
from
same
anyone?
link will be there? Or
yeah,
will be
tomorrow
changed?
also you'll have the same link. Okay, confirm and connect with Raj to join the sessions to continue the classes. Okay. I'm also sharing the results, poll results for you with you. And
so Preeti, I have one doubt.
yes, please.
So basically you said that you will you will cover a project where you will do a deployment of a Java project. Okay. So I get, like, I have an experience in Python, so I get the process will be same for all the languages.
Correct. Like I said, one will be Java application, another will be microservice application where there'll be front end PHP, back end will be a database. There are also Python projects with me. I can also show you. See, again, I'll tell you, DevOps is a process. Okay, you did deployments on you did deployments with Java project doesn't mean that you have to do a separate learning for Python. Tomorrow in the other company, they might be using Python, they might be using PHP. It will be the same. Okay, where comes the difference? Only in the part of containerization, which will be handled by developers. But still, you will also learn how to do that containers. As a DevOps person, we will also learn that completely. So yes, if you know how to deploy a Java application, how to implement DevOps on it, you can do it on any other application. Yes, this course will also help you with that.
Okay.
Course complete certification, I can provide you, Ravi. Okay, if you want, I can provide you. But course certification, course completion certifications will not help you in any way provided by anyone. Maybe if you are intern, it maybe help you, like just to show that you have done something, we can provide you that. Only the course certification certificates, like course completion certificates provided by anyone will not be helpful in any way from the perspective of interviews or anything. So yeah, coming to this quiz, almost 9 persons participated second time. First time, more of them attended, I believe. So this is a second time. All of them answered correctly. What is DevOps? See, DevOps is a methodology, a cultural change. It's not a combination of development and operations. Okay, it's a term is a combination of dev and ops. It's not a combination of development and ops. I mean that DevOps person is not, DevOps is not something who write the code, who do the deployment. No. So it's a methodology. It's a cultural change. I told you, right? It is a never ending continuous process. Sure, Ravi will provide you if you want. Okay, no worries. Who can be a DevOps engineer? A developer, a QA person, an ops admin, all of the above. Even a network technician, anyone can become a DevOps engineer. Right? What DevOps is not. It's not a technology. Like I said, it's a process. It's a methodology. It's not a tool. No. To achieve DevOps, we use a stack of tools. That's all. But it's not a tool. It's not a programming language. Sorry, my answer is incorrect here. I have not written all of them. Or no. Oh, he is not. Sorry. My bad. DevOps is not a technology. It's not a tool. It's not a programming language. So all of the above is right answer. Correct. Majority of you have answered it correctly. What is continuous integration? The process of continuous building, testing, and integration into the system is the continuous. Almost everyone answered it correctly. And what is Git used for? Maintaining versions of files. Yes, everyone is correct here also. What is Docker used for containerizing the application? Yes, everyone is correct. It will be used in the deployment process. Okay, actually, it will help you to containerize that. What is meant by containerizing and all, we will learn. And so what is Terraform? Terraform is a infrastructure as a code tool, IAC tool. Infrastructure as a code means look at the infrastructure or manage your infrastructure with a code. Okay, that's what is IAC. And what is a infrastructure as a code means, right? What is that? Like I said, practice of describing infrastructure in the form of code. You describe, you show your infrastructure in the form of code. Till now, we know that developers write the code. Right, to develop the application. Testers also write the code to test the application. Now, DevOps team can write the code to create the infrastructure, but this coding will be different. It's not like developing an application. Okay, that part I will teach you how easily you can do it. You don't need to learn like developers that the logics and all. So we'll see how you can do it easily. Which of these is an essential change that dev and ops must make to achieve success with the DevOps? Stop working in silos and work together. When you come to DevOps, because it's a pipeline integrating all these stages, there's a lot of chance you work closely with developers, with testers and other teams. So you don't work as a separate team, you interact with them, you communicate with them more. Communication, interaction is more important for DevOps because it's all integrated pipeline. So stop working in silos and work together. DevOps is an extension of, what is it? Is an extension of Agile methodology, right? It's not an extension of waterfall because waterfall is just development, then testing, then delivery and maintenance. It's not an extension of it, but rather because Agile is the extension of waterfall. Then DevOps is an extension of Agile methodology. It's no way related to QA. Got it right, all of you? Any more questions from anyone?
So Preeti, this last question, Agile is extension of waterfall. Can we say that?
Extension in the sense it's an improvement of waterfall, let's say. Okay, it's not an extension, it's an improvement of waterfall. Agile is an improvement of waterfall and DevOps is an improvement of, DevOps is an improvement of Agile.
So what's the difference between extension and the improvements?
See, extension is just you are making some changes there. Here, I want to be more specific. So I said improvement, improvising it. It's not just extending means just adding something there or modifying it. It was the main idea is to improvement rather than extending. It was improvisation, right? You get some improvement over the process there. So the better term would be improvisation rather than just extension. Extension could be for negative results also, but improvisation is talking about the positive way, in the positive end. So that is all from my end. Hope the session is clear for you all.